Vortex Racing bringing you our first guest here on the show. This man had his first 450 National for the Star Racing Yamaha guys this weekend at Paula and was close to the top 10 and had a terrific Supercross season. Friend of the show, Christian Craig. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. How about you guys?
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. We're going to be shaving Chris Kiefer's head here during commercial break, Christian.
Shit.
Just want to let you know that.
Day. It's a sad night.
Oh.
Man, I feel bad.
CC, what happened? We were
bet's a
there.
bet.
We had it.
I think we had an injury clause. We got to look back at that.
Check the contract, right?
We should have added that one in.
I know.
Absolutely. Hey, man, so what'd you think of your first race for the Star guys at Paula? I know I saw you on social media. You were a tad critical of the track here. Tyler Mordaglia is here in studio, too. He raced it as well. But what's your take on your first Pro National here at Lucas Oil this year?
I think it was okay. I have high expectations on myself, for this year, especially the way I finished last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, I was kind of pissed at myself for just not letting myself I felt like I never really pushed it in both motos. I kind of just put it on reserve and just rode out the motos, and I think that was a little bit of with my injury, just dealing with that, and just making sure that was going to get through the day. Where if that injury didn't happen, I would have been a little more prepared mentally and physically, but whatever, it's part of it. And we got through the day though.
Yeah.
It was a decent day. It's crazy that the guys I'm battling with for that position, it just blew my mind when I got off the track, and I'm like,
Tomac, Webb, Marv, all over you.
Yeah. I literally passed Webb going up the hill, and I passed Adam going down it in the same lap, and I got ninth. And I'm like, what the heck? It's crazy that I was following Eli around pretty much all second moto, and that was for 8th place.
Right.
That's just nuts to me.
You kind of finished where you started. So my question was, what if you got better starts? Maybe that was a key to the race right there, which is crazy to think in a 30-minute moto, but that could have been it.
Yeah, you saw what AP did. He got in the start on that second moto, and they broke away. That's obviously where I want to go. I want to be up front and try to run with that pace. I'm not going to say I'm going to go out and win a moto, but you just never know. If you put yourself in that position, you just got to let the rest play out, I think, I was looking forward to this weekend because it's obviously a home track.
Yep.
I'm 15 minutes away, and I was just bummed at how the track ended up being,
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm the only one that really complained about it, but it was just
no. My post race stuff. My post race stuff didn't get a lot of compliments. From Zacho to I can't even think of the guys right now. Jet, Hunter, I saw definitely some people that were not stoked.
It wasn't I'm all for rough tracks. The bigger the bumps, that's fine. Down the straightaways, coming into turns, I'm all for the bigger bumps, but it was all coming up to the jump faces and the top of the jump faces. The whole finish line section, I was just literally hoping to get through that section every lap.
Tyler, how was it for you?
Oh my God, man! How about some of them holes? They were so deep that it was hitting a curb. I was like, man,
exactly.
You didn't know which one you were gonna hit because if you leaned a little bit, you would land in the one next to it, and it was just lined up the entire time, and it was just a crapshoot. One of them would have a rock in it. The other one would have a foot hole on the top of it.
This is the finish line straight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was scary.
It takes 2 minutes to kind of just roll over the top of the lip,
Yeah.
Just leave the bumps at the bottom. That's fine, but it's the top that's the dangerous part,
How much?
I was a little bummed at that.
How much better was that? After we do the step up after the start, that left, and
and they fixed it.
They fixed it, and it was just awesome. You could go where you wanted.
I was
not
yelling at the TV. I go, why did it take them to the last moto of the 450 race to fix that thing?
Yeah, I think TV, right? They're rushed. They're in a rush. They're trying to fix everything they can. I don't know. Yeah.
I was sitting there watching the second moto 250 in the semi, and I'm watching J-Mart drag his feet up that lip, and I'm just like, oh boy, we're about to hit that. And I saw so many people on that little double just cross rut and just go for a ride. And luckily they fixed that lip. But I think that's the only thing they touched all day.
Right.
But it's fine. leave it rough. I'm all for rough tracks. I don't say groom the whole track. Just fix the sketchy things, you know?
Right, right. Tyler,
So-
maybe when you were going, though, your enduro tank, the fuel was causing you to slosh back and forth.
Yeah, I think I did like a warm-up start beside Christian, and I kind of looked over like, what the heck is this? What are they letting race these races these days? Like, what's going
Tyler
on?
had an enduro gas tank on and a wide
I
ratio.
saw that.
Yeah.
I
So,
saw that.
yeah.
That might have been a good bike out there, though. Like, because it wasn't really a high-paced track. It was
Right.
kind of like you had to pick your lines and you had to take your time. Where that might have been a good setup.
It was good. Just the foot-deep start straight really set you back there, and
really needed more
it
horsepower.
was just a bit, a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
ponies, but it was
Right.
all good, man. But the some of those spots too, like. Is your lower back sore today, man? Like some of those ruts
Yeah.
were so choppy. It's like I could feel it in my neck today.
Uh,
Jeez.
Is it because they dumped, like, especially after the finish of that little Dragon's bag made that right,
Yeah.
it looked like there was a curb before that little table. Like it was like a
Yep.
wall.
Yeah.
And it's because you got sand leading into a hard packed transition.
I
right?
heard that the sand they got was more silt, and they were not expecting that. They wanted
Well,
sand.
that silt, they
not-
dumped this silt like a month or month and a half before they closed the track down.
Okay.
And where the guys climbed up the hill in the back where the water tower is and then doubled down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
When practice was going on 2 months ago, that was so gnarly. The guys
Yeah.
were using the water truck road because there were such huge pockets of silt and ruts. They're like, what are these guys trying to do? Kill these average weekend
Yeah,
warrior dudes?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's not good.
Well,
Yeah, so
Okay.
I mean, I think they freaked out a little bit because on Tuesday, that ride day we had, I think they thought that the track was going to be good, and it ended up being really dry. And I
So-
think they freaked.
so then the
and they
water
went-
came out.
Yes, like they probably rented 3 water trucks and just flooded it, from Tuesday to Saturday, and that's why it ended up like that.
Right.
The silt,
But-
on press day on those little drops.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy. Like I'd come around, there'd be yellow flags, or I'd go off of it with somebody, and then they would just disappear over the bars, like gone.
It's like off road. You're probably like, this is cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh
Yeah,
man,
T-Dag's
get
like
back.
the GNCC life for him.
But Christian did this thing. He did it right in front of me. He went around and like doubled down into that hole over the
Yeah.
silt. I was like, man,
Yeah.
I should really do that, but.
I'm
But
not
I'm
going.
not- but I'm not
I
Christian
just like,
Craig.
I'm not gonna die today.
But I'm not Christian Craig, and I have an enduro tank on.
Yeah, no.
Right.
It looks sick.
I just think it's funny when Christian opened up the show with, I should have pushed it more, because it's home race. I should have pushed. I feel like I wasn't riding. Is there any time that you think Christian is pushing, no matter if he
I
is or
know,
not?
right.
He
Yeah,
looks like
you don't
he's-
even know.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
I think the smoother I look, that's when I feel like I'm pushing.
Yeah.
Right.
And maybe maybe it's the opposite for me. Like, I don't know. Both motos, I felt so sketchy where I just had to tone it back and just like
Yeah.
almost tell myself like, chill. You're gonna be fine. Just ride it in and don't override the bike because it's where it'll bite you. So.
How was the leg? How do you feel physically?
I mean, it was fine. Like that was the last thing I was thinking about. So.
Okay. Good.
I
yeah.
kind of like I just made sure like I did everything I could, taped it, and just like prevented all this stuff just to make sure like it was going to be okay if I did dab it, and no problem. So I think that's gonna be the last thing I need to worry about the rest of the season. I think it's just gonna try to get up front and let the rest play out.
When you see Ferrandis winning and AP third, your teammates over there, does it give you a little bit of like confidence, like, hey, I rode their settings, or I'm using their settings, or I rode their settings, or you know what I mean? Like we were just talking about, sort of the star guys of like last year, Barsha and AP were nowhere near 1 and 3 a lot, and Barsha was a little bit here and there. But does that give you a little bit of confidence, knowing like, oh, okay, bike's good, like these guys can win on it clearly?
Yeah, for sure. I think AP is the biggest help. It's like we ride and train together, and so I know exactly what he's trying. Like if he's testing, I know what he's going to try, and then I'll try it, or we'll feed off each other.
Yeah.
14 on the other hand, like he kind of does his own thing, and kind of his bike setup's a lot different than ours.
Right.
I mean, it works for him, but
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to ride his setup.
Right.
But me and AP for sure. It's been fun with AP. He's just like, no matter if he's having a bad day or a good day, he's always the same and very talkative and down to earth, and just you never get that in a lot of riders,
Right. Yeah.
What's the difference? Like, why couldn't you ride Ferrandis' bike? What does he prefer that's so much different?
I think it'd be like his controls and like his front end is so much different than mine. I think where I've never sat on his bike. I don't think I've ever sat on it, but just looking at it, I'd be like,
snowmobile, snowmobile.
Look at
handlebars.
Ferrandis' bars. Looks like he can do a bar hop through his bars. Like
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like if you go up and just look from behind onto his bars, you're just like, wow, that's crazy. But I mean, he's a champion, so that's what works for him, and that's great. But yeah, me and AP are kind of similar, and we obviously train together, so that's what I feel like helps a lot with me.
From what I saw, I don't know, I didn't see a lot of you in the first moto, but looking at the bike, and I just feel like your settings were a little bit soft the first moto. I didn't know if you guys changed stuff the second moto, or if you did, or what.
That sounds like about 15 other guys that said that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're spot on. I think I've always been on the softer side of setups and outdoors. Like Supercross, I'm pretty stiff, but yeah, it's like a comfort thing for me and I ride only SoCal tracks mainly, and so when we get to this deep stuff, my bike just doesn't, want to do what I want to do.
Right.
It kind of wallows out, and it wants to throw me off the bike and do some crazy things. So unfortunately, I kind of had to go through it to realize that I am on the softer side. But we're going to test tomorrow and obviously try some stuff as other guys are doing because their bikes looks good in the deep stuff. So we'll maybe try a little bit of AP setting and see if that helps out. But yeah, I mean, I think the rest of these tracks are going to be deeper, and I just got to, like if I ride Glen Helen, I got to realize that, if my bike's not that good here, it's okay.
Right.
Like, it's going to be good in the deeper stuff. So I just got to stay level-headed with that and not just try to make my bike great for Glen Helen,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Is it a
And
hand?
I think that's what I was doing. Like I was trying to make it good for Glen Helen, and it's a hard-pack, slippery base, so that's more of a softer bike for me,
Right, right.
You trying to avoid like harsh hand feel? Is that like a sensitive point for you? Yeah. Yeah.
That's my number one thing. Like I probably say that to the suspension guys all day. Is like, yeah, you can stiffen it up, but I don't want the harsh feeling. Like I'm not one that deals with arm pumps.
Suspension guys are like, oh god, we can't.
And it always comes from the front. As long as my front
Yeah.
has like a plushness feel, I'm good. Like the rear, I don't ever really feel the harshness.
Right.
As long as I have the hold up in the rear, we're good, and in the front. But I'm so like picky to where they can make one click and I feel a little harshness, and I'm like, nope, no, that's not it. So it's
that's back it off, back it off.
Pretty crazy, yeah.
Right.
Us riders are really picky, but
Oh yeah.
it's just trying to fine tune it,
You look at Christian, he's a front end steering guy, right?
Yeah.
And when you have guys like that, and I'm similar, obviously way slower, but like you need front end feel. And that predicts the track for you. If
You're
you
not really
don't-
riding right now because you decided not to wear knee braces. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Right.
but if you
Okay.
don't have front end feel, you don't have that lean angle,
Right.
it's tough to ride. And then that's what he's trying to compensate for, because like you want your bike balanced
Right.
at GH,
Right.
and you get some of these deeper tracks, and anything off throttle, you're like diving, it feels harsh, and it's just deflecting. You're like, what the fuck's going on?
What part of the track do you think that you wanted your bike to be better on?
I needed it to be a little more hold up coming into the each turn. Like I felt like it was coming down on me too much, and then it would get so deep that it would almost like eject me off, like too much.
Yeah.
And so I need more hold up coming into stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think the team has kind of an idea of where to go with it, but that was the number one complaint on Saturday. It was just trying to get my bike to hold up when I'm under braking or letting off the gas.
Christian Craig on the show, brought to you by Vortex Racing. You want the same sprockets that he uses and Ferrandis and AP? Then email Kyle at vortexracing.com and mention PulpMX. It'll get you a deal from those guys. V3 bar sprocket as well. Christian, so are you going to go to the goat farm this summer? Is that the plan?
I don't know if we're going this summer, but I know we have to be there October 1st for.
So okay, that transitioned me into my next deal. So you signed a new contract with them.
Yeah, just a 1-year deal, pretty much what I did this year on 250 Supercross, 450 Outdoor, and I mean, yeah.
And they said, "Hey, come to the goat farm."
450.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, I mean, it's like, you can. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to take a lot of heat for it, but it's a good bike, and it's a hard deal to pass up, you know. And I feel like I'm on a good program, so why not stay on it?
Right.
Yeah.
But you got to go to the Go Farm October 1st.
Yeah, so we'll be moving to Florida. Yeah.
Wow.
Tallahassee's nice though. It's
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
well, I mean, it's not like Orlando, you know. I mean,
Right.
it's more
It's just
clean.
like California, kind of.
It's the capital, right? So they got to keep it kind of tidy and clean, and the universities are there. Tallahassee's pretty good. I don't know. I like it.
Why are you looking at me?
I mean, Tyler's trying to sell this thing.
I'm not trying to sell it, but I'm just like, you know.
Are you talking about like weather related? Is that what you're
Everything.
anti?
I mean, I'm anti everything.
Okay,
yeah, there's
yeah.
nothing out there. There's
Right.
nothing going on. You got.
But if you're riding and racing, that's all you need to do.
okay,
right?
but Christian has a family, so
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can go to.
he's not living like Ricky Carmichael in a shed and pounding out laps at Go Farm. Like he's got like a real life.
Right.
Yeah. So
Well, it's going to be a big move.
Right.
It's going to be a big change for all of us.
Yeah.
But
Well-
I mean, we got to do it, and it's my job and career, and
sure.
I feel like that's what's best for me right now. So we're going to have to all pack up and
Right.
move over there.
Well, yeah, Kiefer's gonna have to pack up and say goodbye to his hair here shortly because of you, Christian. So he knows the feeling.
Is there anything I could do to stop this?
No, I'm going to pay my debts, Christian. But here's what's going to happen. You signed your contract next year. I'm betting on you again next year, and we're going to have this whole thing over in because he's going to be up my ass on these preview shows next year, and he will not pick you. I can guarantee he will not pick you again.
Yeah.
So here we are.
I would also like to officially file a complaint with Lucas Oil. Christian's mechanic flipped me off. A member of the media told me to fuck off, basically, at the race, and I'm not happy with that. So, yeah, I would like to file a complaint with Jericho about Jericho and get him fined or suspended.
So I went to hug Jericho Friday because I was there with Aiden.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't, yeah.
And he gave me that ass out hug a little bit because he was with his boys.
Yeah.
But if he's by himself, he'll hug me, like
Really?
bear hug me.
I
But
don't-
he had his guys around it, and it was like this,
Yeah.
hey, man, I can't do that shit right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds gay.
Christian,
Fuck Steve Mathis.
Christian, here's what you can do. You want to save his hair?
Yeah.
Don't do it, Christian. He's going to do some crappy thing.
I'll give you two options to save his hair. Okay?
Yeah.
A race worn signed Christian Craig helmet for the studio. Anyone, what doesn't matter. Or
Or
5 signed jerseys to give away to our listeners.
I mean, maybe put up a poll on whatever
Okay.
one you.
a three-way
Either
poll
one.
though.
Oh, and the other one will be his bat.
Yeah,
Shave the head.
yeah, the head. shave.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
What was
Everyone
No,
that?
the
choose
poll
their
won't
hair,
work.
no.
The poll won't work because the listeners
that
will
wouldn't
vote for the
work, huh?
jerseys. The listeners will vote for the jerseys because we're going to give them away.
I'll do either one. So
you will do it
I'll pay my debt. That's worth
to
it. for
save
me.
his hair.
To keep his hair. Yeah.
What a guy!
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is
What a
awesome.
guy!
worth
What a
it.
nice
All
guy.
right, I'll
Are
take.
you want to do that?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
I think a race worn Christian Craig helmet
That'd be sick.
for the studio signed
Yeah.
would be sick because I've got a bunch of helmets here, and so that'd be awesome.
Well, thank you,
All right.
You're
Christian.
fucking kidding me.
Yep. No hair cut tonight, Kiefer.
Thank
Okay,
you.
that's a deal.
Okay,
a
all right,
deal.
fantastic.
Heather
Save the day.
thanks you.
Our guys are not happy. Are you guys not happy? You're not
Yeah,
happy.
suck
not
it,
happy
Talon.
about
Suck
it.
it.
Heather was looking forward to the change though. Did she not? say
Yeah,
that?
that would have been a little mix up in the bedroom. Yeah, it'd
Yeah,
been a little bit
like a
different.
new guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, there we go. Christian Craig coming through big time for Chris Kiefer on the show.
I like that Christian Craig guy.
I'm not scared of sucking.
Trying to save the day.
Right. Did you so you signed the new deal as we talked about. Did you put some fishing lines out there for something else? Or did you go back or did they come to you? Like how did it kind of come together?
I think we kind of agreed mutually through Supercross, and then the contract kind of came about a couple weeks ago. So
Yep.
it's always kind of been agreed, but
Okay.
not official until
Right. Wow.
Friday. But yeah, I mean, I'm stoked. It's good program, like I said.
You're right.
The winning team, and I love just everything about it. The training, the bike. So
Yeah.
either way,
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy to be on it. Just to be
I
racing.
mean, honestly, getting paid good money to ride a factory bike in this COVID environment and everything is a good deal for a rider.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
for these days. We hear Moto Concepts maybe going away. You know what I mean? We hear these different things about teams. It's like, yeah, man, if you can grab a spot and get paid, do it. You know, so
And honestly, for Christian, and I think this goat farm deal can be better for you. Honestly, like I know it's going to be rough on the family and these things that we don't see as idiot media guys, but like for your riding, I honestly think it could help improve. I mean, especially for settings as well, right? So.
Yeah, for sure. I always seem to, like Supercross, I always seem to struggle a little bit on the ruddy tracks. So I think that's going to be a huge gain for me, is to have those tracks that break down.
Right.
So we'll see. I think either way it's going to be a learning curve. But we're going to have fun with it. It's like, how many more years can I do this? You know,
Right.
I just got to just go with it as long as I can and have fun and just try to be competitive each year.
Absolutely. Listen, you've been great at the Star Bike. Both of our lives have changed since we got on Yamaha, so I can totally relate to that. Absolutely.
No, but what about Troll? Poor Troll. Since he's been on, I just watched his.
We're moving on to next week. We're on to Colorado.
Hey, I just watched his vlog from Paula.
Oh,
that was the funniest vlog I've ever seen.
I haven't watched it yet. What was good about it?
So at the end, they go up to Phil, and the first thing he said is like, "Hey, you have a noose?" Like, me and Alex want to tie ourselves up, and then he can kick the chair out from my.
Troll gave me this shirt
so
in the
good.
morning that says "I'm so fit" on it for troll training, right, for his thing.
Yeah, it shows that one in there too.
Yeah,
It shows
so
that whole thing.
he shows me this shirt. I'm so fit. Oh, it's in the vlog.
Yeah, it's in the vlog.
Oh yeah,
It's
and
good.
Phil goes, "That should say I'm so fucked." Just laughing.
He's so funny, but like every time I see him in person, he's so serious that like I don't even talk to him.
No, yeah, you can't. You can't. No, you can't.
I'm
You
just
don't know what to
okay,
do.
I
You're
won't even
like,
I won't even try to start a conversation or anything. I just walk by.
The funny thing is Tyler here beat him both motos, and Tyler doesn't even race, in Canada full time anymore this year. He's kind of doing different races for fun. GNCC,
Yeah.
and when Phil comes on here, Christian, we are going to hammer Phil over and over about Tyler with his enduro tank beating him. So, hey, so was there a guy, Christian, that you caught and passed in practice? You lapped? Anything that surprised you out there? Like anybody that you were like, this guy's going well, or anybody like that caught your eye that you're like, wow, this is cool, or anything like that?
No, like I mean, I guess I was caught off guard by the guys I was battling with, and
Right.
then where I finished.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like the guys. Say this was 2 years ago, and I was battling with Musquin, Tomac, and I was in front of Cooper and Cincerillo. I'd be fighting for a podium. You know, and
Right,
it's like,
right. Yep.
holy crap! And I never saw what place I was in because I was literally just glued to Eli's rear wheel and just getting roosted the entire moto.
Yep.
And so I was telling myself, I'm like, all right, if I'm right on Eli and we're battling with Musquin, I'm probably in like 5th, 6th, 7th, you know, that's pretty good. And I come off and my mechanic gets on the back and he's like, that was a good ride. That was P9. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know,
What?
I just spent 30 minutes battling with,
Yeah.
Eli Tomac,
Right.
and that was for 8th. So
Right.
that's probably the biggest thing, was just like, holy crap.
Right.
This is, that was,
I was hoping you were going to say how slow Phil was going when you lapped him, but I guess not.
I never saw him. I never
Oh, you
saw
would
him
have
out
lapped
there.
him. Yeah, you would have lapped
what
him.
sucks is you went 11.9 for 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
That's-
I think Paige was more pissed about that than me.
Yeah.
She's like, you really went 11.9 for 12?
Phil went 11-11 for 13th a few years ago. We loved it. We fucking loved it. We couldn't get enough of that. So we got some phone calls for you here, Christian. First up is Sean. What's going on, Sean? What's your question for Christian Craig?
Hey guys, I just wanted to actually tell kind of like a cool little story. This is probably going back 5 or so years ago before Christian actually signed on with Geico. I'd gotten in touch with him about the Pro National in Regina, and we'd actually, I'm not sure if he still remembers, but we purchased him a license, and he had some graphics get done up, and we were going to fly him up to race a couple rounds, and it was evidently the summer that he went out, and it was pretty much right off of not riding, and did like exceptionally well at Redbud. But Christian was an absolute gentleman to deal with, and kind of one of those cool stories that, you know, it never did get to happen, but was really something that we had in the works, and was really
that's
cool
cool.
of him to even entertain the idea.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How
I
close
remember
were you to
that.
doing it, Christian?
Yeah, it was really close. I think we had pretty much everything lined up, and then ended up racing some nationals instead. So
Right.
I just wanted to I've never raced over there, so that was always an idea. And if, I was kind of working full time, and it seemed like a fun idea to fly up there one weekend and race.
Right. Well, you had to deal with T-Dags back then. Yeah.
You would have liked
that's
Regina, though.
working.
You think hard pack?
Yeah,
hard
because
to
it's
hack,
kind
wasn't
of it's like
Right.
it's kind of like the tracks here. I guess it'd be.
Yeah. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, man. We'll get some cell phone noise there. What else? What else I want to talk to Christian about? It's something else.
Paige?
No, not Paige. But you can if you want to start getting weird again.
I'm not. No, I don't get weird with Paige.
I'm not saying you get weird with Paige, but just on the just on the show you could start.
No, I like the home life aspect of his whole thing going
Right.
on. And
Okay.
I always wondered.
Is that Keeper After Dark still?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, we don't do that right now.
Extra rad.
What do you guys like on your way home? This is always a conversation that me and my family have. We always wonder, like, after a day of racing and you and your family go home, you're taking the drive home, like, you have 15, 20 minutes to drive home. Do you guys talk about the race, or are you on something totally different, or what's the conversation like on the way home?
Well, it depends how my day went.
Yeah.
Like, if I rode like crap and she knows I could have done better, we'll just be a silent car ride.
Okay.
Like, that's one thing. But mainly it's pretty much just all off topic. Like, we spent however many hours at the track just talking dirt bikes and worrying about the race, to where when we get done, it's like we talk about the kids and what they did today, or we'll call her parents or whoever's watching the kids that day. Little things like that. But, like, that's funny you ask, because we were sitting in line leaving Paula, and it took forever. And so we called Carson Mumford. We're like, hey, how was your day? And so we just talked to him for like a good 20 minutes.
Was he okay, or how is he doing? Because one good moto, one decent moto, and one not so good. How's he doing?
No, I think the second moto saved him from
good.
going over the edge. Yeah, so
Okay.
he seemed like he's in a good spot.
You'd probably be in line in the car, and then the kids are putting down the windows when you don't want them to put down the windows, and they're throwing stuff in the back of the seats, and they're fighting with each other, and
Right.
that's probably, like, the dirt bike thing is like the first little bit of the drive, and then it's all back to family mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we didn't have the kids with us, but usually they'd be in the back either napping or something. But
Right.
Hi, yes, is Jagger home, please?
still
Christian,
got that drop.
thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you get up there. I'm sure you will this summer more often. But I mean, maybe not. The class is so gnarly, for sure. It is gnarly. Like you said, all of our stuff that we've been talking about is, can you believe the guys that were just riding around 8th, 9th, and 10th? It's
crazy.
It's absolutely nutty. So
Yeah, I think it's just if I can just improve a little bit each weekend, and even with just myself, like even if I go 10-10, if I feel like I rode good, then I'm happy. I know where I should be, but I just got to take it, baby steps, and just try to beat a little bit more guys each time.
yeah, I think you start where Dylan or AP started or Kenny started, and you can stay there. I don't have a doubt in my mind, right? But
Yeah.
that's the whole thing.
How's your results in Colorado usually?
Last year I went 7-4, I
Okay.
think.
So you like that track?
I like that track.
Okay.
Love that track.
You know who else is good there? Troll Train. Troll
Hey.
Train's fucking good at Colorado.
All right.
So,
You better hope.
yeah, I know. I better hope.
You're worried about Tomac not doing great at Colorado. You should worry about Troll not doing
Troll's whole season is coming up this weekend.
good. His whole
His
season.
whole season, one way or another. So
On round 2.
yeah, it really is. So thanks for coming on, Christian. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks for
you.
saving my hair.
Yeah,
All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.
classy. Thank you, man.
See ya.
Appreciate it. Christian Craig saving Chris Kiefer's hair.
Yes.
Was that a good move, Scott, or no? Like what?
I think it should have been the helmet and the
Put the
jerseys
mic up a
instead
little
of
bit. Thank you.
helmet and jerseys.
Oh, both.
Yeah, both, and then do the poll.
Should have done
Helmet
that.
jerseys versus
Hey, as
shave
easy-
the head.